Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. That is now 10 a.m. if you're in Australia, or midnight to 1 a.m. I believe if you're in the UK and Europe. I hope you guys and girls are well and you had a good weekend. Let me catch up with the chat here. I'm early, Kamal, good to see you. Yeah, no, I'm not early because daylight savings has finished in Australia. And because I stream on US time, that means my stream starts earlier if you're not in the United States. If you're in the US, nothing changes. Sniper Girl, it's good to see you as well. And I see you actually put your video card in your computer. Well done. Looks cool. And you were saying you were amazed at how much better games look with the new video card. It's that sweet ray tracing. You're doing good, Sniper Girl and Kamal, that's good. Make It 3D. Hey, Make It 3D says, I don't see any nachos. Why even have this seminar if there are no nachos and cheese? Damn Australians. And Make It 3D says, he's not doing bad, just chugging away for little money and big dreams. Yeah, don't we all know that? Tamara, hello to you as well. And Hellforge. Thank you, Hellforge. If you want to wishlist the game, you can click that link Hellforge popped into Twitch chat. Does it look like, it looks like, let me just check to make sure that those commands are working, because it doesn't look like when Hellforge put the commands into the chat that they came up. Or did they? I don't know. I don't know. I know Notebot put them up. I guess that always happens. I don't know. I'm confused. 2 a.m. in Sweden, Hellforge. Oh, it's 2 a.m. in Sweden. I thought it might have been a bit earlier because I'm starting earlier for you guys, but maybe your daylight savings started or something. I don't know. Can Make It 3D says, don't listen to anything he's saying in this introduction. It's all lies. Yes, do remember, guys, if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch channel. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, which is /PhilDoes3D. So, YouTube address and then /PhilDoes3D. If you want to wishlist the game, you will see me working in today. You can click that link, Hellforge popped into Twitch chat, or go to the About Me section on my Twitch channel and look in the panels and you'll find a link to the Steam store page. Same goes with the Discord. If you want to become a Phildo and join the PhilDoes3D Discord server, either go to the About Me section and click the blue graphic, or click the link in Twitch chat, or if you're watching me back on YouTube, there's a link to my Twitch channel in the description below this video. You can get an invite link by going to my Twitch channel. Kamal says, to Make It 3D, accept my regards, gentlemen. Sniper Girl says, yeah, games are freaking awesome now. And no lag. Loving it. That's good to hear. Kamal says to Hellforge, greetings from Istanbul at 3 a.m. in the morning. Man, you guys stay up as late as I do. Oh, Hellforge says the bot was a bit slow, but they showed up eventually. Good to hear. Kamal says, hey Phil, would you move to Europe? Yeah, I would. I'd move to the United States or I'd move to Europe. Yeah, I guess I would. I'd have to put all my stuff into storage, but yeah, I guess I would. So yes, anything else? Am I forgetting anything? If you want to find out more about me and what I do, go to my website, phildoes3d with a .com on the end of it. I'm just going to get a quick drink. Oh, I installed Unreal Engine 5 too and started playing around with it. I don't know if you guys have used it because it's been officially released now, so... And I'm afraid to say I'm not that impressed with it. Ooh, Epic are not going to like me. Yeah, I don't know really. Maybe I haven't played with it enough. I shouldn't jump to conclusions and rush judgments, but I've only just started playing with it over the weekend, so. But so far, I'm not that impressed. Helpwood says coffee. Yes, coffee. More coffee. You need to play with it, Sniper Girl says. Yeah. Kamal says, Phil will move to Europe. Now it's your turn to watch at night, Aussies. Okay. So yes, no, I like the interface. It's very clean. It's very nicely designed. So the redesign of the interface is really, really well done. The guys and I at the game studio, we started transferring the main game project into UE5 to see what would happen. It transferred over okay. There are a couple of problems that need to be fixed though, but that's it's a C++ programming thing. It's the interaction with stuff. The other thing I noticed is Unreal Engine 5 cascade particles are now depreciated. Now, with our game project, we've got like about half and half a Niagara, half a Cascade. So if we have to update all of the Cascade to Niagara particles. They've depreciated physics cloth, which we use with chaos cloth now, so we'd have to update that. Frame rate has dropped, and we're trying to work out why. This is with Lumen and Nanite turned on. Yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on with frame rate. We've got to look into that. So there are issues. There are issues. GPU light mass seems to be a bit buggy as well. There's a few issues going on with UE5, first release version anyway. Oh, and the other thing, media player. If you have videos that play in your game, which we do, they won't play. If you're running under DirectX 12, they just won't play. They show you a black screen. You can hear the audio, but you get no video. So that's a pretty major bug, and Epic really should have addressed that before they released the release version. So come on, Epic, get your act together. That's not good enough. But anyway, that's enough. And again, I've only just started playing with it, the guys and I at the studio, so I'm not going to really bag it too much until... Well, it is a first release as well, but it has been in pre-release for like 12 months, so Epic should have got a better handle on what's going on by now for a full release version. Helpwood says, had my booster shot earlier today, not feeling 100%, not as bad as I expected, but not as well as I'd hoped either. Yeah, I had my booster probably about 6 weeks ago now, and when I had the first two shots, no problem at all. I mean, I had a bit of a sore arm for maybe a day or two, but the booster gave me this rash all up my arm, which I didn't get with the first two shots. So, and it only lasted about a week, but yeah, and my arm was a bit sorer with the booster than it had been with the first two shots. It's all fine now, but yeah. Remember, guys, get your boosters. It's important. Particularly with the way that the human malware is spreading out of control at the moment around the world, because all the governments of the world threw their hands up in the air and said it's all too difficult, we can't keep closing things down, so you're just going to all get it. So make sure you get boosted, it's really important. Android Lust, hey Android Lust, it's good to see you. I hope you had a good weekend. And Euro, yo to you as well, Euro. I see Smurf was saying that he's getting a burning smell coming from his monitor that he repaired, that he changed the capacitors on. That's not a good sign. If you're getting a burning smell coming from your monitor, don't use your monitor, just in case. You don't want to start a fire. But like Euro said, at least he got an extra 6 to 12 months use out of it. I don't think it stopped working. I think he just said there's a burning smell. So yeah, if there's a burning smell, don't use it. Kamal says to Euro, hello my grandmaster. Helpwood says, maybe Sniper Echo knows some good optimization tricks? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I only just started looking into it. It just seems odd that we get a frame rate drop going from 4.27.2 to 5.0.0. We're going to have to look into it. There's something strange going on, and we tried both. We tried the version you can install from the Epic launcher, and we also built from GitHub our own build using Visual Studio 2022. just in case there was an issue between the launcher version and the GitHub version, but it's exactly the same. There's issues. And there are issues built into the engine. There are bugs in the engine that Epic have to fix, like the media player bug, the GPU light mass bug. Yeah, there's a few problems with the release version anyway that I've noticed. Sniper Girl says to Euro, hi, how's it going? I need to get my booster. Yes, get your booster. Sniper Girl says it's finally been 6 months. I got mine after 3 months. They recommend 3 to 4 months now. And so I got my booster after 3 months. After my second shot. Euro says, doing good, got my feet up. Oh, nice. How nice for some anyway. Kamal says, I like Sniper Girl's optimizations. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Kamal. Make It 3D says, use it. Fire is good for the skin. Android Lust says, if you're getting a burning smell from anything, not a good sign. No, that's right. Not a good sign. Yuri says it could be the caps he didn't replace on their way out. That's true. When I fixed my monitor, I just replaced them all on the power circuit board. I didn't. When I changed the caps on my monitor that blew, I only changed the caps that actually blew. But I don't use those monitors anymore, so. But they kept going. They kept going until I replaced the monitors. So, and I only replaced them because I wanted a bigger screen and higher resolution. They're still in their box up in my cupboard though. I can't throw technology out. I don't know why. Even though, like, I've got video cards from 10 years ago, NVIDIA video cards, that I just can't seem to throw away. I mean, no one would want to use them in this day and age, but I just can't throw them away. Helpwood says Sweden is 5.5 months between shot 2 and shot 3. Oh, really? I'm surprised because, yeah, it's 3 months in Australia between shot 2 and shot 3, your booster. Sniper Girl says, so they changed it? Look, I don't know. Look, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm not a medical doctor. All I know is in Australia, it's 3 months between your second shot and your third shot, your booster shot. But obviously it's different wherever you live in the world, so make sure you check. But yeah, 3 months. I had my booster 3 months after I had my second shot. Elfwood says, Phil got tech gear from 1653. That's right. 1253. Tech gear from 1253. Yeah, no, I do. I've got like, I can't remember the brand, the model number of it now, but an NVIDIA card that must be at least 10 years old. No fans or anything, just a heat sink on it. Back in the day when you didn't need fans on video cards because they didn't get that hot. Was it an NVIDIA GeForce 8600 maybe, or something like that? I can't quite remember. Bill does MD, Android Lust says. Navigil says, hi, how are you? No, she come in. So yes. Helpwood says, could also be an age thing. I know here over a certain age, the time gap between shots are a lot smaller. No, we don't have an age difference here. It's not based on age. It's just how long after the second shot. In Australia anyway, regardless of how old you are. They're now talking about a fourth shot, but only for people over 65 or people who are immune compromised. So they don't recommend it for the general population, just for specific people, like the elderly, basically. That's the fourth shot. So I hope that this does not. I mean, I don't want to have to get a shot every 6 months because of this thing. I mean, if that's the case, they've got to come up with a better vaccine. Because I don't want a sore arm for a week afterwards each time. I mean, it's a small price to pay to save your life. I'm not saying it's not, but, having to make appointments with doctors or chemists to get shots all the time is really annoying. Hang on, what's going on? Andrew Love says, I'm good, Sniper Girl. Had a headache earlier, but it's gone. Well, I'm glad it's gone now, because headaches are bad. I had one yesterday, actually. I know how you feel. Sniper Girl says, so you're being alive during Noah's days, you're able to get the fourth shot, right? So cheeky. You're going to get slapped. You're going to get slapped. Yura says, I'm not taking any more shots. I don't know if they're even doing it anymore here. They stopped officially putting out daily case numbers. But yeah, look, they haven't put out daily case numbers in Australia for about a month now. Like I said, it looked the government's. Oh, I got a slap back, did I? Thank you very much. Yeah, the governments around the world seem to just throw their unless you're in China, seem to throw their hands up in the air and say, "Oh, it's just all too difficult, and everybody's just going to have to get it now." Which I don't agree with, but anyway, because even some people that do get vaccinated can die. I mean, you know, the chances are much lower. But there are cases where people do catch it after being vaccinated and die. So I think it's really irresponsible of the governments of the world just to say, "Oh, it's just all too hard. We're not going to bother with it anymore." Anyway, that's my opinion. So you're right, yeah, they don't publish them here anymore either, because they don't want to freak people out, because case numbers are going through the roof now that the governments are not locking people down anymore. And mask rules, like they did away with all the mask rules in Australia here. So when the human malware cases are rising, what do? They stop the lockdowns, they do away with the mask rules. I don't know. Euro says you have to dig into their website to get the data now. Yeah, it's same here. There is a website we can go to in Australia, which you've got to look up and follow yourself. But it does, you can find the numbers there as well. But the news don't talk about it anymore, which is wrong. Thank you for the mod slap too, Upwards. Snappy Girl says, "I'll slap you back." Upwards says, "Was too quick on that one." Maggie3D says to help, which he needed it anyway. You're going to get a slap, Maggie3D. So, no, we're going into Photoshop. So, yeah, I have played with Unreal. I mean, we could load it up and we can check it out if you want to look at Unreal today. Otherwise, we're going to continue working on the cottage, the caretaker's cottage in Unreal 4.27.2. Yuri says, yeah, that's 37 billion for an app tied to a database. Sniper Girl says, the US is almost up to 1 million deaths, the US, sorry, deaths due to the human malware. I know, it's terrible. It is terrible. They estimate around the world it's killed like, what was the last figure I heard? Like 23 million or something? They say, because apparently the numbers are higher than what the countries have been actually officially saying. So yeah, their estimates are like maybe worldwide. I think they said 23 million. I could be wrong, but I'm sure I heard 23 million, which is a lot of people. Well, if it's 1 million in the US alone, I don't know. Or was it 6 million? I don't know. So there you go, Helpful. Had the copy. Sniper Girl says, but hey, the Republicans say it's a big deal. Not a big deal. Make it 3D says, wait, there's a virus going around killing people? Sniper Girl says, wouldn't be surprised if it's 23 million. Yeah, look, I could be wrong. I really could be wrong. But I do know that they say that the official numbers are grossly underestimated because countries didn't count people dying the way they should have from the human malware. So they reckon it's a lot higher than the official number anyway. Sniper Girl says, nope, fake news from China to make it 3D. Elfwood says, I'm willing to bet money that it's way higher than 1 million because some red states are run by effing morons who refuse to report it if it occurs, and would not surprise me. Kamal says, to make it 3D, try to be less sexy, dude. Okay, so into Unreal. Yes, we're going to continue working on the caretaker's cottage. Now, I want to move to just adding some bits and pieces to the interior of the building here. But we need to make some change. Now, I have all of these assets I want to bring in. So some of them are fine. Some of them I need to do a little bit of retexturing in Substance Painter because they're too clean. Story of my life. Always have to dirty up assets. Mega 3D says she can't stop being too sexy. Abigail says to Halforge, yeah, and there's a lot of doctors that have been caught reporting COVID deaths as natural causes. Did that for over a year. Well, didn't the New York governor, the previous governor, Mr. Cuomo or whatever his name was, get into trouble because he didn't report deaths from aged care facilities that were related to the human malware? He got into trouble for a lot of different things, but I think that was one of the other things that he was got into trouble for, not reporting the deaths correctly. Naked 3D says, my excessive humility only makes my sexiness stronger. It's a curse. Kamal says to Naked 3D, sorry to hear that. This curse will destroy the world. Halford says, just don't cobweb. Now, I said to Smurfberry last week when we were doing this area, but this is an old destroyed building. It will have cobwebs. We've got to put some cobwebs up in the corners in a couple of rooms. So we are going to be adding a few cobwebs to here, but yeah, again, make sure you control me, guys, because you know what I'm like. But just here and there in the corners, we'll put some cobwebs. But we'll do that later. I want to start adding some furniture first. Android Love says there's also cases of people having human malware and dying months later from human malware related things, like human malware killing your kidneys or some other organ. Yeah, that's what's so bad about the human malware. If you've got any sort of problem, like any sort of weakness in your body, it zeroes in on it and makes it worse, which is what ends up killing you. So yeah, it's a nasty little human malware. It specifically goes for any weakness you have in your body. Naked 3D says to Kamal, I know, Kamal, I know. Halford says, fine, you can't have one you can have one cobweb. Just one. Ooh, I don't know. One's too few, I need more than one. Abigail says, another cobweb stream. No, not today, we'll start with the assets first. A cobweb stream, make it count, Halford says. One cobweb, make it count. Just one, agreed, make it 3D says. Nasty cobwebs, Kamal says. Okay, let's start adding some bits and pieces here. Now, things like this little creepy doll. let's have a look at her first. We will bring her in. She's already relatively dirty anyway, so she or he, I'm not sure whether it's a boy or a girl. You can use your own imagination and it can be whatever you want. So yeah, the actual mesh is dirty, so that's fine. Halford says, one cobweb, if you want to add more, you'll have to donate $5 to charity. So where are we going to put this creepy doll? So this is the front door. Let's put the creepy doll. We could put it here in the, oops. We could put it here in the rubble pile, or we could put it over here. Andrew Lust says, I hate dolls like that. Yeah, I do too. They're creepy as. Remember too, guys, don't be misled here by the look of the, we haven't done a rebuild on the lighting, so things are not shadowing quite correctly at the moment. Until I do a rebuild, they won't. And I'm putting off doing a rebuild here until we get more of the assets in, because any assets I add after the rebuild will have to need another lighting rebuild, so. Abigail says to Halford he'd be donating $1,000 by the end of the stream if I have to donate $5 per cobweb. Halford says, put the creepy doll next to a red explosive barrel. Yeah, there are no explosive barrels. So, where do we want to put the creepy doll? We come in, we could have the creepy doll here, or we could have the creepy doll here. I think here. Let's have the creepy doll right in their face as they walk through the door. Kamal says Hellforge makes an offer to Phil that he cannot refuse. Abigail says with Hellforge, make an explosive barrel just for the sake of the doll. Put an explosive barrel in there so we can destroy the doll. Let's bring the doll in. Let's make the doll a bit bigger. And it's got to be facing the door, obviously, because, you know, it's not creepy unless it's looking at you as you walk through the door. Should we have the door fallen over? Leaning back a little bit, maybe. We'll face it more toward the door so it's looking at you. And let's just move it back into the rubble a little bit. There we go. That's not creepy, is it? With its cracked face and everything. Sniper Girl says, could drop it against the wood piece. You're talking about over here? Or the one back here? Elwood says, doll tilting back on the broken wood beam thingy. Yeah, that's what I sort of thought as well. Which is what it's doing now. Helpful says, maybe give it reflective eyes like a cat, so when the player first enters they just see glowing eyes. Actually, what I'm going to need to do, I think, is I'd like to make this something that you can actually pick up. So I think we should probably do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into where my blueprints are for interaction. Examples, objects, clue pickup, crystal diary, general objects, general pickups. I think it's this one, maybe. Inspectable. Yeah, we don't want to pick it up, so it'll be a general object. So what I'm going to do here is interactable, inspectable is what we want. Inspectable. Let's just duplicate. Let's duplicate the pen. Inspectable, and it's going to be BP inspectable creepy doll. So what we then need to do is open up the blueprint. I'll bring this in here so we can see what I'm doing. We need to go back to where the creepy doll is. Move this up a little bit, and we want to swap out the pen for the creepy doll. Creepy doll. It's just not picking up the correct material here, so I need to find the material and assign the material. What else do I need to do here? Do I need to change anything else? Inspection distance should be okay, no collision. I think that should be all I need to do. So compile, save, creepy doll. Let's close that down, move this out of the way. So now we need to add I'm just going to check the scale on this, which is this. So we need to add the creepy doll blueprint, which is the one that we can actually pick up. Change our scale. Let's move it into position. Needs to be rotated. Oh. And rotate it back. I should have remembered to do this before I place the doll. Okay, so something's not right. I must also pay attention to this when I start placing other stuff. So now the doll is in about the same spot. Doesn't have to be exactly the same. So we're going to remove the original doll and put the pickup doll in its place. I'm just checking to make sure it looks like it's sitting correctly. Okay, so now the player can pick it up. You can't add it to your inventory, but it's something you can inspect. Let's just do a save all while we're here. Copy and save, yes, copy. I did the save, let's do the copy. Okay, so what else do we got here? Let's just jump back into our... So yeah, the doll was dirty, so that's okay. This chandelier, let's put that in one of these rooms. So it looks like the chandelier has dropped onto the ground. We have to sort of work out what rooms are supposed to be what. So I think this one we'll make as we'll say is a bedroom. This one, I'm not sure. We'll just say it's maybe some sort of study, I don't know. Which means this one could be like a lounge room, which is where the fallen chandelier can go. It's not going to be inspectable or pick upable, so we don't need to create a blueprint for it. And where will we put it? I guess maybe around about here. And scale it up. May even scale it up a little bit more. Maybe a bit too much, let's take it back. Okay, so let's put this, rotate it around. Still might be a little clean, you know, I mean, it is dirty. It's a little dirty, but it still could be, it might be still a bit clean. I'm just trying to work out whether I need to retexture it at all. No, it should be alright. I think this will be alright. Rotate it though a little bit more. You know what I think what I might do is actually, I wonder if I should turn it. I just don't know, I like the look of it on its side like that. So it looks like it's fallen up against those wooden beams behind it. Helpwood says, dull tilting back on the broken wood, maybe give it reflective eyes. Andrew Loss says, I can't wait to see this after the light build. Yeah, once the lighting build is done, then it should improve the look of the scene quite a bit. So what else do we have here? We have this grandfather clock as well. But I'm just worried it might be. Well, let's have a look at it. Let's bring it in and see what it looks like. And again, this is not going to be an interactable, so we don't need to create a blueprint for it. I just want to make sure it's not looking too clean. I mean, the glass is dirtied up. I'm just worried that the wood looks a bit clean. Yeah, I think this is a bit too clean, so I'm going to remove that. I'm just going to do a save all, and I'm going to export. Halford says that's a cool clock. Andrew Dust says the wood is pristine. Yeah, it is pristine. So what we're going to do is, I prefer the one here that doesn't have the interior, which is this one. So it's just the clock itself without the interior pieces. So I think this is probably the one that we're going to go with, but we're going to retexture a little bit. Like the full clock is nice with the interior pieces. I don't know. What do you guys think? This one or the full clock? The full clock does look nicer. Yeah. I'm just because because this place is so destroyed. Would something like this stay looking like this, or would it end up more like this? No interior, make it 3D, says. Android Lost says, without the interior piece, you can throw a cobweb in it. Good idea. No interior, yeah. I'm the same. Because of this destroyed building, having something like this in the building is a bit... Yeah, this is more fitting for the building. So we're on the same page, and that's good. So let's do that. So I'm just going to select this piece, and I'm going to export it. And I'm also just going to open it up. Find the textures. And export them as well. Okay, as we work, let's do this. So we're going to jump into Max. This is the frame we've got to do. Just got a new all. Import. Cabinet, chair, frame, clock. Chair, frame, clock. Okay, let's just do a save here in Max as GF, the grandfather clock. I'm going to jump into Photoshop as well. Clock. This is one of those textures where the metallic and the roughness are stored in the red, green and blue channels. So this one will be the metallic. And these are as targets. I'm going to resave them as PNGs. So we'll call this one metallic. And now I've got to remember which one is which for the roughness. Is it the red or the blue? I think it's the red. Or is it the blue? No, I think it's the red. Yeah. Hang on, yeah, Android Dot says. I like Android Dot's suggestion about putting cobwebs in this, and we're going to do that. And the interior of the clock. Sniper Kill says Android Dot's darn you. Watch him add 20 cobwebs to it. Andrew Loss says, looks like a perfect home for a huntsman spider. Kamal says, I love spiders. I hate them. They freak me out. Even tiny spiders freak me out. Andrew Loss says, speaking of huntsman spiders, I heard it was flooding in Australia. Yes, it has been. Not where I live in Victoria, but the other two states further up from me, like New South Wales and Queensland. Yeah, they've had really bad floods. Like 2 or 3 times in the last month now. Really bad floods. Flooding houses over the roof. And it's happened like 2 or 3 times within the last month. So one week they get flooded and it starts to go down and they start to clean up. Then it gets flooded again and the water starts to go down and they start to clean up and then it gets flooded again. It's global warming. What can I say? It's global warming. Sniper Girl says, Kamal should move to Australia then. I heard they have lots of large spiders, same as some as big as you. Yeah, they do. We do. We do have big huntsman spiders here, or big, I can't remember what they call, but they're harmless. They won't hurt you, but they can get to like the size of the span of 2 of your hands. They can become huge. And they would certainly freak me out because a spider the size of my fingernail will freak me out. You guys, I don't know if you remember, but I was streaming one day and this little spider dropped down in front of my face and it was no bigger than the size of my fingernail and it freaked me out. Just a house spider, like a harmless house spider, but I don't care. Any spider freaks me out. Andrew Love says, I thought it didn't rain in Australia. Spiders are friends. It usually doesn't rain, but when it does rain, then it pours. We're going to save this one out as a PNG. And this one is going to be the roughness. And while I'm here, I'm going to I'm going to open up the... hang on. I'm going to resave this as the diffuse as a PNG as well. I'm wondering whether I should resave the normal map, maybe. Instead of a target, we'll save this one as a PNG. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Hang on, it didn't. We're going to resave the metallic and the roughness. I made an error. I made a boo-boo. Bill made a boo-boo. So we're going to start with the metallic. Clock metallic. And then we want the roughness. Now, storing them in the RGB channel is a really efficient way, an optimized way to work. I don't tend to do it that way because I get confused easily. It's easy to confuse me. So I tend not to store them in the roughness. Hang on, what are we saying here? Sniper, hang on. Yuri says, teensy weensy spider. Sniper Girl says, me runs and screams like a girl, so do I. I hate spiders. I hate them as well, and I run and scream like a girl. Kamal says, really? Here it's as big as a hand. In your country, spiders should be scary. Yes, we get some huge spiders in Australia. Most of them are small, but we do get really big ones that are harmless. I mean, they're intimidating to look at, but they won't hurt you. But then we have small spiders that are deadly poison and will kill you, like redback spiders. They're only about about that big. And they've got like this red mark on the back of their abdomen. Those are deadly poison. If you get bit by one of those, you've got to get to a hospital immediately, otherwise you will die. Helpwood says, I recall you screamed like Dead Flanders in The Simpsons and ran away. I did. You saw me. It was it was. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. And the thing had to drop right in front of my face while I was streaming. What would be the odds of that? I think it dropped down from my stairwell here because I sit... you can see those pictures I posted of my desk setup. You can see that stairwell, which is right next to my desk here. I think it dropped down from there. Android Dust says, I try not to kill spiders, but other insects are fair game. I try not to kill any insect if I can avoid it. Flies. I'll kill flies. Yeah, flies, because you can't catch them, get to release them anyway, so they'll die. But only flies, or mosquitoes maybe. But we don't tend to get mosquitoes where I live because it's too far south. Miles says to Sniper Girl, do you sleep well at night? Sniper Echo, hey buddy, it's good to see you, Sniper. Sniper says, afternoon. Mega3 says, good day. Euro says, I just let insects do insect things. It's not like we're their direct apex predator. I freak out about spiders crawling on me while I'm asleep, or and going into my ear or up my nose, or that's the sort of fear I have of spiders. It's the reason I don't like the spiders. Let's open up Painter. Nero says, I say morning to everyone. Andrew Dust says, red-backed spider like a black widow. Yeah, I guess it's like a black widow spider. Yeah. We also have funnel web spiders, and they're also deadly. So, and but they don't create a web like a normal spider does, like a redback, which is also poisonous. They sort of live in a little hole in the ground. That's why they're called a funnel web spider. If people get bit by a poisonous spider in Australia, it's a redback, which is very rare. I have to say, you're not going to come to Australia and get bitten by a redback spider. Yeah, I mean, unless you go looking for one, and then you have to go like out into the bush or something, you'll be fine. What was I going to say? I don't know. Yeah, they're deadly. And they're small. So for a tiny spider, they're incredibly deadly. We're going to do this at 4K and the engine will knock it back. Cottage furniture, grandfather clock. Bake out the maps using the low res as the high res, and we're not doing vertex coloring, so we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, redback is like a black widow Android Dust. Probably a bit smaller though. Sniper Echo says, hey, Sniper Girl says to Kamal, yes, I do fall asleep quickly. I do too, actually. Again, it's one of those things, the older you get, like in my younger days, it used to take me a while to fall asleep when I went to bed, but not anymore. Maybe it's because I work so late anyway. That's probably more. That's it. It's not my age, because I work late. But now I'm out like a light. So as my head hits the pillow literally probably within 30 seconds I'm asleep. Kamal says to Sniper Girl, do you provide anything against spiders? Poisons like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create a fill layer. That's correct, isn't it? Yes. And we're going to import the texture maps. So we want the diffuse, the metallic, and the normal, and the rough. And they're going to be as textures. and for the current project. So we want diffuse, and we want metallic, and we want normal, and we want roughness. All good so far. Let's just save this. I'm just going to call it GF for grandfather clock. I'm just going to rename this material as well to GF clock cottage, because I have other grandfather clocks that I don't want to be overwritten in the game. So okay, let us go into our smart materials and search for dirt. I'm not doing a major retexture on this. I just want to dirty it up. That is all I want to do. Let's see what other dirt textures we have. And let's see what this one looks like. Okay, this is the one I generally always use, but what I tend to do is I turn off the height information and the normal information. No, the roughness. No, just the height. Let's change the blending mode on this as well. So let's go through them and see which one looks best. Make 3D says you can select all of your imported items and set them as textures or something else all at once. Oh, you can? Oh, okay. You don't have to do them individually in Painter. Okay, we'll do that with the next one. Are you being triggered again, Make It 3D? Because Make It 3D gets triggered because I don't use shortcuts. Sniper Girl says, watch Phil do 3 hours and retexturing. No, we won't be taking 3 hours. Make It 3D says, I'll put a fiber on 3.2 hours. Well, you're both going to be wrong. Make It 3D says, did Phil prepare textures in any other software? I don't know. Make It 3D says, I thought he stole all his textures from babies and puppies. I like to multiply, but it's too dark, so we're going to knock it back. Do I like to multiply? I probably am going to take 2 hours doing the texturing, you know. Yeah, I like to turn off the grain on this as well. I don't really want the grain. We're just going to have a look at the others to see if there's anything else. Actually, we might use this one as well, but will we use this one? All the choices. I want to do a mix between two, so I'm just trying to decide which two. Probably this one. So let's get rid of this one. And let's change the color on this to darken it up. And let's knock this one back again. Still too dark. And let's group these together. I'm just going to call it dirt. And let's throw a smart mask down. I'm going to go with surface worn. Let's do a blend here. So we're just going to pull in a little bit of dirt. Helpwood says babies don't know how to texture. Make It 3D says, how do you know? Snipey Girl says, should look at also reducing the roughness. Influence 2. You want me to reduce the roughness? I can do that. Let's see which layer it's on. I believe it might be the bottom. Yeah, it's the bottom layer. You are correct, Sniper Girl. If it's being dirty, then it won't be. It won't be shiny if it's dirty. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's go here. It's actually the original roughness map, so what we might do is pull it back like this. Is that too much now, do you think? Should I bring the roughness up a little bit? Make It 3D says, are you a baby? Miles says to Make It 3D, you're amazing, dude. Shining as always. Elfwood says, look at it this way, Phil. The faster you finish texturing it, the faster you can add cobwebs to it. This is very true. Oh, I do like the cobwebs. Make It 3D says to Kamal, it's a gift. Make It 3D says, Phil, too bad you can't add damage to it. Well, look, I could, but I don't want to spend all my time texturing these assets, retexturing these assets. Snuffy Girl says, considering where it is, I think it looked right. Android Lust says, max roughness. So you want me to turn it all the way down? Is that what you're saying? Don't you think there should be a little bit of a sheen to it? I mean, I can turn the roughness completely off. But that just doesn't look quite right to me. And that obviously is not correct either. That's too shiny, too varnished. Mega 3D says, if that thing had been in the elements for a long time, there would be no varnish left on it. This is true. But I don't want it completely flat like that either. I want a little bit of sheen to it. Not, not that much, but just a little bit. You are correct. I mean, actually, if this thing had been left in the elements, it wouldn't be together anymore. It would have rotted. But we're making a game, so we can make some exceptions to reality here, for the sake of art. Sniper Girl says, will someone please stop mentioning cobwebs? Because yeah, it will be a cobweb stream. We need more rivets, Sniper Girl says. Yura says you could hide some cobwebs in time. We are going to be putting cobwebs in there. You guarantee it. That was Android Lost's suggestion, and it's a very good one. So that's the only reason I'm doing this, is so I can put cobwebs in there. Yeah, I don't want to get... I think that roughness is fine. We've taken away a lot of the roughness on it. I don't know that we need to bring in any more dirt. I mean, we could. Yuri says you could hide some cobwebs inside. Yes. Alfred says no rivets, not even rib nuts. Cobwebs and rivets, Sniper Echo says. Yuri says boo. I don't know that we need to add any more dirt. I might just play with this one a little bit. Move out of roughness. I might just change the color of this, darken it up a little bit. Kamal says spiders and poisons? No poisons, no. Mega3D says the roughness is fine. If you wanted to look any more real, you would need to modify the wood texture itself to show peeling and weather damage. If not peeling, then cracking. Delaminating like an old guitar. Look, I do have a material. I really did not want to spend an entire stream doing retexturing, but I do have a material which is actually, which I have used before inside the building on some furniture, which might be cool. I'm just got to find it because I can't remember what it was called. It's not just called wood. It's got a specific name. Which is what you're talking about. Sort of. It's like where the varnish has started to crack. And it is a really nice material. Only I could remember what it was called. It's not wood varnish. That's why I can never find it, because it's not called wood. It doesn't start with wood. It's got some other name to it and I can't remember what. Come on guys, you saw me using it. What was it called? It was like 12 months ago when I used it, when we were doing the interior of the building. What was the damn thing called? Mega 3D says, be right back, need to restart my computer. Kamal says, I've never seen an old guitar left in the desert before. Euro says, blasphemy. To the computer restart. Euro says, timber. There we go. Android Lust says, make it fade to particle board. Yeah, I want to see if I can find this actual, this crack liqueur. I can't remember what the name of the thing is. I thought it was starting with C, but obviously not. And it's like you know when you get furniture that's been varnished and it gets old, the varnish starts to crack, and it cracks in like not a snakeskin pattern, but that sort of look. I have a material here that has that, which might be interesting. Again, though, I just can't remember what it was called, which is really annoying. No, it wasn't leather. It was wood. Come on, where are you? Was it old varnished wood? Yeah, it might be this one actually. Let's throw that down. Up the tiling. Change the mixing. Just want to see if I can get a blend mode that will work. Let's pull back on the luminosity. And pull back on the normal intensity and the roughness and the height. And let's, like what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the hide information off and the roughness off and the metallic off. I think we'll just work with we'll keep the normal on. Let's go back into our smart masks, and again let's go with the surface worn. Maybe surface worn is not what I'm looking for. I'm going to move it underneath of the dirt layers as well. Let's see if we can try changing the blending mode. What are we talking about? Hang on, what's going on here? Sniper Girl says, almost up to 5,000 points. I can't wait to get 30,000 points so you'll get getting over it. Might take a while, but you'll get there. Yura says, looks at 71,000 points. Wow. Kamal says, I like Bill's shelf, rich materials. Sniper Girl says, because you never use your points. Android Lust has 157,000. Man. Wow. Yura says, I do use them, just not very often. Sniper Girl gifted a sub to Kamal. That's very generous of you, Sniper Girl. You love gifting the subs. Thank you. You're awesome. Thanks for that. So yes, Sniper Girl gifted a subscription to Kamal, which is incredibly nice of her. Andrew Lust says, the most I have in any channel. Kamal says, 157,000 is a lot of points. You could have me playing games for a whole month. Kamal says to Android Lust, accept my respects. Yura says to Android Lust, hoarding the points like a champ. Sniper Girl says to Android Lust, yeah, no kidding. Sniper Echo says, anyone here doing any parametric modeling or data-driven geometry? No. Not doing any parametric modeling or data-driven geometry at the moment? No. Is that what you're doing, Sniper? Android Lust says, it actually looks really weathered. Mega3D says, the clock is looking much better. Android Lust says, never heard of that, Sniper Echo. I've heard of data-driven geometry. In Archviz it's used, it's called BIM, I think. I think what I might do here is I'm just going to pull back on the saturation on this. Sorry, I'm going to pull up on the saturation. No, I'm going to pull back, up, back, up, back. There we go. It's reversed because I'm using a divide mix. I think we might need to just make some adjustments to the dirt layer now as well. Miles says to Sniper, an inventor. Sniper says, is it just me? Sniper Record says, don't do lust, is it just me? Mega3D says, has it been 3.5 hours yet? 3.2 hours? Sniper Girl says to Mega3D, nope, not yet, will be soon enough. I know, look, you guys want me to... It's not my fault, I tell you. It's not my fault. You get me started and then I can't stop. I do like texturing though, you guys know that. Actually, no, I don't know how to filter those. No. just want to go through here and just do a little bit of adjustment to the texture. I just want to knock it back a little bit. It's a little bit too bright. And let me see, is there another filter I'll add? I just want to pull out some of the red. It was just a bit too red. That should be fine. I could spend days doing texturing. I really could. Let's save it. Let's export the textures. Because I want to get those cobwebs in. It's all about the cobwebs. I'm just going to create a new folder here called Painted. And let's export. What are we talking about? Hang on, Smurfberry. Hey Smurf, it's good to see you, buddy. Snappy girl, no, hang on. Snappy girl says you're welcome. Did that at the start of the stream. It took you long, and I'm sorry. I get in my zone, and I keep forgetting to look at my notifications over there. So yes, no, thank you, Sniper Girl, for gifting the sub to Kamal. It was very, very nice of you. Okay. Let's jump back into, well actually I'm just going to add the texture here so that I can resave the max file. And if I open it up again, I'll know what's going on. Base color, metallic, okay. Okay, so we have our retextured dirty clock, so let's save that. Now all I should have to do is jump into Unreal. And let's import, actually before we import, let's let me open up the clock and bring this in. Let me find the material, which is using an instance. So now we can just move this out of the way for a minute. Let's import those new textures we just created. So we want the clock, diffuse, metallic, normal, and roughness. And it's going to bring these in as virtual textures, which I don't want, so I'm going to have to change that. So let's do that real quick. Change it. we don't want texture streaming. Hang on, where to put them? We'd put them up there, wouldn't it? Right in the most inconvenient spot. This one, which is the metallic, we don't want texture streaming and we don't want it to be sRGB. The normal map, same thing, no texture streaming, but we don't want it to be sRGB either. And no texture streaming and no sRGB on the roughness. Okay, so now we want the color to be this one. And the normal to be this one. Oh, stuck them in this ring, alright. I'm just going to save that. This is using the original roughness and metallic. I'm just going to add it to the scene and then we'll go from there. I may have to save it out as a different as another texture map, but let's add it to the scene and have a look. Where is it? Meshes. Let's make the scale bigger. Not that big. It's probably okay. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back into Photoshop and we're going to open up the metallic and the roughness. This is the roughness, which goes into the red channel. And this is the metallic, which goes into the green channel. And let's save this as a PNG, and we're going to call it clock_RMA_painted. Hang on, what are we talking about? Smurf says, we all knew the gift subs are for the torture fund. Yeah, she's gifting me subs so she can get more points to get me to torture me with games like that pony game. Or this other game that she wants me to play that sounds like it's going to be fun. Andrew Lust says, I Google parametric modeling, it's breaking my brain. Euro says, the Sniper Echo I have in the past for mundane stuff like railway lines. Sniper Girl says, the Smurfberry, no, honestly, like supporting Phil, torture points are just a bonus. I appreciate it either way, whether it's for torture points or to support me. I do appreciate it when you sub to the channel, and I particularly appreciate it, Sniper Girl, when you gift subs. It's because it's incredibly generous and good of you, regardless of the reason. Sniper Echo says, yeah, it's interesting stuff, parametric modeling. Kamal says, after Inventor, I don't prefer any other software. Yura says it worked out the best solution for railway lines with the repeating UVs on the rails and sleepers. I used rail clone in Max for doing those. Yeah, rail clone's really popular actually. Kamal says, which software do you use, Sniper Echo? And Sniper says, in between Houdini, Blender and some custom APIs. Make It 3D says to Sniper Girl, I wonder if Phil is going to enter the 21st century and use shortcuts. Or the 20th century. We are in the 21st century now. Android Lost says, I remember Phil once said he doesn't use shortcuts just in case someone new to 3D is watching. Yeah, you guys remember when I first started streaming. I did. And that's another reason I don't use shortcuts. I said to you guys, because I stream on Twitch and people watch me, if you use shortcuts, people don't know how you got to what you're doing. So I tend not to use shortcuts and go the long way with my mouse and clicking so that people watching can follow along or understand what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Yeah. That was the reason I never have used shortcuts generally, particularly when I'm streaming. So I'm just going to re-import this RMA texture now. And again, we're going to make sure we turn off virtual texture streaming. I can't remember if you turn off sRGB with this or not. We'll try it with it on and then we'll go from there. Because I can't remember. Painted, let's assign that. Save. Let's try turning sRGB off and see if that makes any difference. Because yeah, I really can't remember whether it should be on or off. I have a feeling it should be off. Yeah, I think it should be off. Which it is, so that's good. We can close that one down. And that one down. Let's rotate this. How do I want to do this? Let's move it down. Let's rotate it like this. I guess. Oh, we've got our window here, so we've got to sort of maybe move it. How do I want to do this? I think just make sure it's that's particle effect. I really should not have added it until I finished setting everything up. Do I want it to be any bigger? Probably not. Let's add some cobweb, shall we? The thing I've been waiting to do all stream. Cybergirl says to Android Dust, I remember that too, but yeah, he doesn't due to, he just doesn't like them due to being old. Make3D says the sniper girl. What a terrible thing to say. Android Lust says the texture does look a lot better now. Yeah, I think so. Look, yeah. The other one was too clean. I mean, you know, this is a building that's completely destroyed, so it's been open to the elements for, you know, God knows how long. The textures need to be dirty. Smurfberry Bapsville with a feather duster. Kamal says the Sniper Echo in Discord. Check art help advice part. I shared a sword which I made in Inventor. Oh, that spider. Look at that spider that Euro posted a picture of. The redback. There we go. I'm not paying enough attention to the Discord. Yes, that's the redback spider there. You see that Euro posted a picture of. It's got like this red mark on its abdomen. Deadly, deadly, deadly poison. The most poisoned spider in Australia. Oh, lovely. Android Lust has posted some new images in the gallery as well. I do want to show those off before I finish the stream today. Lovely work, Android Lust. I love it. Love it. And Kamal, yeah, it's posted the Templar's Imperial Champion sword in the art help and advice section. I'll leave the gallery open so to remind me to show Android Lust's work. The cobwebs. That's what I want to do. Cobwebs. Sniper Girl says to Smurf, how are you? Android Lust says to Kamal, that was made in Inventor. I thought it was ZBrush. Smurf says, aggrieved. Android Lust says that's a compliment, by the way. Sniper Reke says to Kamal, very cool. Android Lust says, so is there a big difference between Inventor, AutoCAD, or Fusion 360, or is it like how 3D Studio Max and Maya are now? Large differences between those three, Make3D says. Android Lust says, I honestly thought they were all very similar. Since I never touched those products, I never watched any videos on it. Kamal says to Android Lust, I guarantee you that their videos are so boring. Sniper Echo says, I'm not sure Phil knows any shortcuts. Sniper Girl says he doesn't. You tell him and he complains about them. Make3D says, it sounds like a good excuse though. I've got to give him points for that. Kamal says, I like Phil's long cuts. There you go. Sniper Echo says, having said that, in Blender I don't have a clue where anything is in the user interface. Andrew Doss says, so redbacks are Australia's Black Widows, pretty much, yeah. Do they live in cities, Kamal's asking? They can. Generally not, but yeah, no, you can get bitten living in a city by a redback spider, which is deadly poison. It's not common. So yeah, it's not common, but you could get bitten in the city if you're not careful. But they're not everywhere, so you'd have to be incredibly unlucky to get bitten in the city. You'd have to be even unlucky to get bitten if you're out in the bush, out in the forest. I mean, yeah, most people don't get bitten by them. There occasionally people do, but very, very rarely. And generally what happens is when people get bitten, it's not because they've gone looking for one in the forest or what happens is in winter, people in the city, if a person in the city gets bitten, this is usually how it happens. In winter, the spiders can come into your home because it's warmer, and they tend to like go into people's shoes. So most people that get bitten have been bitten when they put their shoe on because the spider has been in their shoe and it's come into the house because it's warmer in winter. So that in the city, that is. But it's very, very rare. Very rare. I don't want you guys to freak out if you want to come to Australia thinking you're going to get bitten by a redback. You won't. Sniper Girl says to Red Lost, except unlike Black Widows, redbacks are deadly. Most cases with Black Widows, that's not the case. Yeah, redbacks are deadly, deadly spiders. Absolutely deadly. The most deadly spider we have in this country, and it's incredibly deadly. So, cobweb time. Cobweb time. Let's put some cobwebs in this club. So, again, I can't see them, so I'm going to go into the alternate version so I can see what I'm doing. Let's go with cobweb bottom corner. Cobweb bottom corner 2.
When the downtown lights start to come out at night, we go insane.
Let's rotate it around. Let's scale it back a bit. So the cobweb coming from the actual clock onto the floor. Because why not? We can get to the floor. There we go. Let's rotate it around. So we're going to scale it up a little bit. So we got a cobweb there. Let's put a cobweb. Let's put a cobweb here. I told you once I start, I can't stop. I cannot stop. Let's see what cobweb. We've got this cobweb corner 1. Let's have a look at that one. Cobweb corner 1. Cobweb 7. Cobweb corner 1. Let's scale it up a little bit. Let's move it up here into the corner. Make sure it's not coming through the wall. I might just move it over a little bit more, I think. If I can select it without selecting the particle effect. Okay, and let's. Oh, I do want to do one inside, but I just want like one more up here. Now let's see what. What are you guys talking about? Andrew Lust says, yeah, I don't think black widow bites are common at all. They usually don't try to bite humans. I can't say the same about Australia's version. No spider wants to try and bite people. I mean, yeah, they don't go out of their way to try and bite you. So if you get bitten by a spider, it's not because the spider's got it in for you. Andrew Dust says, so redbacks are black widows on steroids. Kamal says to me, be careful, dude, I love you. I love you too, Kamal. I will be careful. I'm safe, it's okay. Kamal says, we have default brown spiders here. Oh, okay. Sniper Girl says Black Widow's mortality rate is actually quite low, less than 1%. So if you're a healthy person between the ages of 15 and 16, your chances of surviving a Black Widow bite are very high. Andrew Loss says default brown spiders. Sniper Girl says, so yeah, Black Widows aren't as bad as most people think. Andrew Loss says a brown recluse spider might be more dangerous than a Black Widow, to be honest. Kamal says to Android Loss, before going to bed, that's not good to hear that. We're freaking poor Kamal out because he's about to go to bed and we're talking about spiders biting people. Because that's one of my number one fears is having a spider crawl in my ear or up my nose or in my mouth if I'm snoring, I don't know. Okay, let me control myself. Let's just put a spider web inside the cabinet here. Let's go with let's have a look at this top corner 1 and 2. Where is it? Top corner 1, let's have a look at that one. Yeah, let's see what this one looks like. So let's get it over in the right spot. Let's rotate it around. I might just scale it back, I think. It might be a little bit big. And let's add one inside the clock itself. Let's see what this one looks like. Can I use you? And I think we need one more inside, which will be maybe corner one. Web corner one. Are you guys still talking about spiders? Something about this one I don't like, so I'm going to see if I can't do something with it. Something about this spider web that doesn't look quite right. Maybe it's too big. Okay, I'll try and control myself. No more spider webs now. But for this room, there are other rooms. Let's do a save all. So I'd actually like another web through here. I think it needs another web here. I told you I can't stop once I start. What's a simple cobweb object? I don't think I've used that one yet. Okay. It's like a sheet. That'll do. I'll try and control myself. I'll try and stop. Maybe make this one a bit bigger. Or maybe. Just this corner up here, there's something about it I don't like. I still don't like that. There's something up there I don't like. Abigail says, that's interesting. Redback spiders tend not to be aggressive unless their web is disturbed. Sometimes they may just give a warning bite without injecting any venom if they feel threatened. Android Lust says, well, if you don't like insects, having a spider as a roommate sounds like a good idea. As long as you don't find them in your bed or something. Sniper Girl says he's going to try to stop. Yep, 2 years later. I just want to get this corner up here right. Just something about this corner I don't like. It might be this web that I don't like. I think. Oh look, we'll continue with the spider web tomorrow. I want to show Android Lust's work, so I'm going to do a save all again. And we're going to do a save current. We will pick this up tomorrow. Let's have a look at Android Lust's beautiful work. Again, if you want to see Android Lust's work, jump on the Discord server. If you want to study it in more detail than what I'm going to show you here, it's in the gallery. Beautiful. Really, really lovely. Love it. He does such beautiful work. Character work is just outstanding. Texturing is beautiful as well. Yeah, really lovely. I love the design of, I like the design you put on the dress here. That looks really cool. Matches the ad. Hair looks great. And her face looks really good as well. Even just down to the little touches like the flowers and the hair. Yeah, beautifully done. Character I made for a little art challenge, Android Lust says. Kind of had to rush this one, but I like the rush. I think it looks beautiful. I love it. Yeah, I love the texturing. I love the character. I love the silhouette as well. Really nice. And the hair is amazing. Really amazing. Beautifully done. And the dress, like I said, I like the pattern you put through the dress here. Can't fault it. Even the composition here with the god rays, love it. Love it. Looks great. Beautiful, beautiful work. Rush project looks amazing, Snappy Girl says. Love the hair. Yeah, it does. It looks incredible. He's done an amazing job. Android Lust says, almost had to get an energy drink for it. Kamal says, beautiful render. Yeah, it is a beautiful, beautiful render. Nice composition. Really nice modeling. Nice texturing. Hair is incredible. Yeah, I love it. It looks great. Absolutely amazing. As usual, beautiful work. Yeah, I mean, look at the hair. The hair is amazing. Yeah, and the features. No, it is beautiful work. Really, really beautiful work. And as far as shots go, this is probably my favourite. I like the silhouette in this shot. It's really interesting. Lovely, lovely work. Thank you for letting me show it on the stream. I think we might leave it there though for today, guys and girls. I will be back on again tomorrow. We will pick up where we left off working on the caretaker's cottage. I'm not going to be streaming next week, so I'm streaming tomorrow, but next week because of Easter I won't be streaming, but I'm back the week after. but hopefully I'll see you guys and girls tomorrow. You guys have a great night, and yeah, I'll be back on again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Have a good night, guys. You're quite welcome. See ya.